Medical advances have improved tremendously since the 1600s. We have gone from people dying for lack of medical knowledge to now knowing way more about the medical field and practices than ever before. The medical field has advanced with medicine, vaccines, amputation, disease cures, ambulances, and the knowledge of their overall human body. In the 1600s, the doctors did not know a lot about medical dangers. The doctors made medicine out of lead, which they also created bullets out of. This was dangerous and harmful for the patients because it caused infection and increased death rates during the 16th century. The use of amputations began to creep up as doctors realized this was an effective way to get rid of bullets, infection, and diseases. Ambrose Payer was a man who served in many battles and helped invent the idea of stopping blood flow. This medical technique would stop the flow of blood and greatly reduce the chance of losing too much blood and dying. William Harvey was also very well known in the 1600s. He was the first ever to correctly describe the human circulatory system. Harvey thought that the heart was a muscle and the blood flowed around it. Doctors slowly started understanding this process of how the nervous system worked. In the 1700s, the hygiene was not good. It was poor. Everyone did not know that disease spread by germs. Malaria spread rapidly due to them not knowing how diseases spread. Malaria happens when a mosquito bites you and that mosquito is carrying some form of a disease. Doctors also thought that when you got a fever, it occurred from having too much blood in the body. The way to cure that is by setting a leech on your skin and letting them suck the blood out of your body. This is not why fevers formed. This just leads to more diseases occurring. Nicholas Culper was a famous man that discovered some herbs that helped with different illnesses and diseases. Santorio is a famous Italian. He created a wind gauge. This allows us to know the speed, the pressure, and which way the wind is blowing. This is just one of the many inventions Santorio made. He also created something to remove fluid from cavities. He was always inventing new things. In the 1700s, medicine still was not fully understood. Every day, someone was learning or inventing something new.
1846, before the Civil War began, anesthesia was invented by William Morton. Anesthesia is used to numb a patient's pain. Although during the Civil War they only used a low dose, so many men would move and groan in pain due to the unsettling effects of anesthesia. During the mid to late 1800s, the citizens of the United States of America saw what is now known to be the most gruesome war on American soil, the Civil War. The Civil War began in 1861, and soldiers were quickly in need of the right medical treatments. In that case, doctors had to come up with new and effective procedures for the wounded and or the sick. Despite the casualties from bullet wounds, diseases would tend to be the most fatal and common cause of death. Even if you were to get treatment, surgery still didn't always mean your life was saved or that you would even heal. The average person's life expectancy was around 40 years. Clara Barton in North Oxford, Massachusetts, on December 25, 1821, was very brave, and that helped a lot of people during the Civil War. She was one of the very first women to work in the federal government during that time. She helped all throughout the war, healing and helping the wounded. Even though the war ended, Clara Barton still went on to help. Clara Barton opened the Office of Missing Soldiers. The average person's life expectancy was around 40 years. Clara Barton in North Oxford, Massachusetts, on December 25, 1821, was very brave, and that helped a lot of people during the Civil War. She was one of the very first women to work in the federal government during that time. She helped all throughout the war, healing and helping the wounded. The Red Cross was created to provide aid to those injured in war. Clara volunteered to work with the Red Cross during another war. This experience, along with her help during the Civil War, inspired Clara to introduce the Red Cross to America. On May 21, 1881, Clara founded the American Red Cross.
The 2000s is finally the time when death rates went up, surgeries and medicines became more advanced, and diseases became less of a problem. The results of most health problems, or really any medical problems, are surgeries. Surgery has probably improved the most ever since historical times. We went from amputations because of a little infection to just making a simple medicine for diseases and infections. We also have more advanced technology for difficult and more advanced procedures, such as scalpels, forceps, scissors, retractors, and clamps. Medicine has also advanced tremendously. We have come up with medicines and treatments for over 500 diseases. However, during historical times, there was no cure for anything. If you got a disease, you would most likely die from it. Ambulances are a very quick and efficient way to take people that need medical help immediately to the hospital. Ambulances have evolved over time, from cars like police cars to now having the correct medical equipment inside to possibly save a person's life. Diseases are not very common now. Ever since around the 1900s, diseases have not been anywhere close to as bad as in the 1600s. Some of this reason is because we have the vaccines for them, but also because we have better hygiene and technology. However, some diseases can still come back. Overall, diseases, surgeries, medicines, and ambulances have all advanced and proven to have saved many lives.